Hi loves, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new to the channel, my name is Chisom, and in this channel I teach about hair growth, how to grow your hair and manage it properly to retain length, and how to sew clothes. Okay, so if you have not subscribed, please subscribe and turn your notification bell on so that you'll be notified anytime I upload a new video. Okay, so in today's video I'm going to show you the easiest method of cutting an off-shoulder princess breast cut. All right, the most easiest and simplest method. So if you are interested, I advise you to watch the video and watch it to the end, okay, so that you will not miss out of any vital information. Just take your time, watch the video, and make sure you understand it. I promise you the method is very simple and easy, okay? So if you are interested, please continue watching. So to cut the off-shoulder princess cut or princess bustier, we need our tape, scissors, chalk, ruler, and of course our material. So without wasting time, let's get into it. Let's get started. The measurement I will be working with is bust measurement 38, half length 16, bust point 10, under bust 13, round under bust 33. Okay, so this is the material I'm using for the cutting, for the tutorial. Okay, so I just folded it into two, as you can see. All right, so I'm going to start adding my measurements. So we are going to start by measuring the half length. Okay, look at it. We are going to minus 4 inches like this because it's off shoulder. Off shoulder means there's no shoulder, so we are removing 4 inches here for shoulder. Okay, so I'm starting my measurements here from these 4 inches here. So I'll take my half length. My half length is 16 plus 1.5 inch allowance, which is 17.5. So that is my folding. So if you measure the folding like this, you get 13.5 for your half length. Okay, so the next measurement is bust. My bust measurement is 38. What I'm doing now is to cut out the quantity I need for the cutting. Okay, so the bust measurement I'm working with is 38. So I'm going to measure my 38 like this. 38 divided by 2 will give me 19. 19. So from this 19, I'm going to add extra 8 inches allowance. Okay, like this. So this is the quantity I'm going to cut out now. That is the quantity we need for this cutting. Okay, so let me repeat myself in case you don't understand what I did. What I simply did is to remove the quantity I need for the breast cut, for the off-shoulder princess breast cut. Okay, so for you to remove cut out the quantity you need for the cutting, I use only my half length and bust measurement. The half length and bust measurement. So the half length I'm working with is 16. Then I'll minus 4 because it's an off-shoulder breast cut. So I'll minus 4 from here and then measure my half length. My half length is 16 plus 1.5 inches allowance, making it 17.5. Then after I measure out my half length, the next measurement I'll do is my bust measurement. I'll place my tape here and measure. My bust measurement is 38. 38 divided by 2 will give me 19. So I measure 19 here, and then I added 8 inches allowance, okay, like this, and then I mark. So I'm going to cut out this quantity here. I'll cut it out like this. So this is the quantity we are working with, okay. So after cutting it out like this, the next thing I'll do is to separate this. I'm going to open it up. Yeah. So now we have 2 pieces, 1 and 2, okay. So the next thing we are going to do is to fold each of them into 2. I'll fold it like this and fold it like this. So after I fold each of them into 2 like this, I'll place it like this. Yeah. So here, this one now is my zip allowance. So yeah, this is 2 inches zip allowance. So this is how you place it. We are going to start adding the measurements proper. Okay. So this is our zip allowance. So that means this one is the back and this one is the front. Okay. So I'm going to measure my neckline. The neckline I'm working with is 4.5. Now you are going to add the neckline according to your choice. If you want the neck to be wide enough, you can add 5 inches here, okay, or even 5.5. But in this case, I'm going to be making use of 4.5 as my neck width, okay, the wideness of the neck, 4.5. So I'll mark here 4.5. Okay. The neck depth is going to be 7. So I'll mark here. This is the depth of the neck, 7 minus 4. Remember, I'm minusing 4 here because we are cutting an off shoulder, right? So minus 4. This 4 that I remove from here is my shoulder. Okay, so I remove the shoulder and then measure my neckline. So the neck depth I'm working with is 7. I'm going to cut the same neck for front and back. But if you don't want the same neck for front and back, you simply cut the front neck and then cut the back neck separately. Okay, so I'm going to connect it like this. So I'm making a round neck, so I'll add my curve like this. So this is the neck. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to measure is the armhole. I'm going to remove 4 inches like this and measure my armhole. Armhole I'm working with is 8 inches. So I'm going to mark my 8 inches here. Okay, I hope you are following. It is very, very simple. Immediately after you measure your neckline, you go to your armhole and measure your armhole. As simple as that. So minus 4, you measure your armhole, okay, which is 8 inches, and then you mark. Okay, so from this line you connect it to your neck, to the neckline like this. Okay, so I'm going to connect it like this. Okay, I'll make it curved. So from the armhole, you draw a line to meet the neckline here. Okay, so yeah, the next thing we are going to add is the bust measurement, the bust point. I'm going to -4 like this and measure out our bust point. The bust point you are working with is 10 inches, so you mark your 10. This is my bust point, 10. Then under bust, 13. Mark your under bust. Okay, so our half length is 16. So you can mark out your lines. So yeah, so remember what we did, -4, this is bust point, and this is under bust, and this is the half length, and this one is the sewing allowance. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is from the bust point, you are going to measure your nipple to nipple, which is I have 7 inches nipple to nipple, 7 inches. So 7 divided by 2 will give me 3.5 plus half inch sewing allowance, making it 4 inches. So I will measure my 4 inches here and mark. Remember that this is the wideness, the distance from one bust to another bust. So you call it nipple to nipple. Okay, here. So the next is when you, after measuring the distance of the bust from one bust to another, which is the nipple to nipple, the next measurement is under bust. You come to under bust like this, and then -1/2 inches from whatever you have here. So in this case we have 4 inches here. So I'll come here and remove half inch and add 3.5 here. So here I'm going to mark 3.5. So coming to the half length, I'll still add the same 3.5. Okay, so what I simply did here is on the bust point, I measure the distance from one bust to another bust, which is the nipple to nipple. I measure here 7 inches plus half inch. 7 inches, 7 divided by 2 will give me 3.5 plus half inch sewing allowance, making it 4 inches. So I measure my 4 inches here. So from here is 4 inches. Then you come to under bust, you measure 3.5 inches. Then you come to the half length and measure 3.5 inches. Okay, so then you come to the armhole line here. You measure out from the neckline, you measure 2.5 inches and mark. Okay, so we are going to connect the lines like this. So we are going to connect these lines like this. Okay, yeah, so this is the princess line. Okay, the next thing we are going to do is to come to this place. Remember, this line is under bust. You come to this under bust and measure 2 inches here. So your measurement here depends on how busty the person is. So if the person has big bust, you come here and measure 2.5 inches. Okay, but in this case, this is medium size. I'm going to measure 2 inches here at the under bust line, 2 inches. Then you come to this armhole line and measure 1.5 inches like this. Okay, so if it is large, measure 2.5 here and 2 inches here. So in this case, this is medium size, so I add 2 inches here and 1.5 inches here. This is the armhole line and this is the under bust line. Okay, so we are going to connect this line. We're going to connect this one, these 2 inches, to this one and then to this one with a curve. Okay, so I want to connect it like this. Yeah, so we now have our breast cut here. So coming to this point, I'm going to draw the line down, the 2 inches measurement. I'm going to take it down like this, down to the half length and allowance. Okay, yeah. So the next thing we are going to measure is the bust measurement. Now the bust measurement we are working with is 38. 38 divided by 4 will give me 9.5. So I measure 9.5 inches here and mark. Okay, then I'm going to be adding 3.5 inches sewing allowance. So I'm going to mark it here, 3.5 inches sewing allowance. Then I'm going to my under bust line. The under bust round I'm working with is 33. 33 divided by 4 will give me 8.25. Then I'll mark 8.25. I'll mark it here, and then I'll add 4 inches allowance here. Okay, so I'm going to connect it like this and then take it to the half length. Yeah, so this is it. As you can see, it is very simple and easy to cut. All right, if you think you don't understand, please watch the video again. It is very easy for you to understand. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to cut. Remember, the neck, the front neck and the back neck is the same. So I'll cut like this. So take notes when you want to cut this one, because we are cutting the front and the back together. So you are going to remove the front, two of the front, and then leave the two of the back. So before you cut your breast, before you cut this curve here. So I'll cut it like this. So the next thing for you to do is to separate, open the zip. This is the zip allowance, the back zip, okay? So we'll separate it. This is the front, this is the back. And then this is the front, this is the back. Yeah. So what we have here now is this. And then this. So yeah, this is basically it. Yeah, this is the front side and this is the back side. Okay, so I hope you understand how to cut it now. And please, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to join the family, because I'm going to be uploading so many tutorials on how to cut and sew clothes. All right, so if you have not subscribed, please subscribe, and don't forget to turn the notification bell on so that you'll be notified anytime I upload a new video. You'll be notified so that you can watch it. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Till next time, for now it is bye bye.